1992 was a tumultuous year in Los Angeles, marked by riots following the decision not to convict any officers in the violent arrest of a black man, Rodney King. It's now the backdrop of a new film starring actor and singer Tyrese, aptly named 1992. ABC's DeMarco Morgan talked with him about the film and his upcoming album.
We all know you from Transformers, Fast and Furious franchises, but I hear you got your start from a Coca-Cola commercial?
Yes, sir.
Take us back to your childhood.
Ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If the little engine that could was a person, I'm sitting right here.
That's you.
You know, I think people that have had 5 minutes of fame had a runway compared to me. I started with 30 seconds. And so for me to be on after 25 years in some capacity, every day feels like Christmas to me.
You're from Watts,
Yes,
from
sir.
Los Angeles, California. Let's go back to 1992.
All right, run it for me. Catalytic converters.
They need platinum. How much they got in there?
10 million.
You need a miracle to pull this off.
The jury in the Rodney King trial.
A stunning verdict.
The 4 police officers were found not guilty.
So the backdrop of the film, the 1992 riots, after Rodney King's incident there, and you and I were both, I think, in grade school, elementary school, or middle school at the time. We won't tell everybody our age. You're still proud of it. But when you look at that moment and you look at this film, what was your 1992 compared to what we're talking about in this film?
It's that reminder that it's not easy to wake up every day in this black skin. It's a reality that we live with every single day, that we walk in rooms, we drive cars, we get pulled over. There's George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin. All of this type of stuff is still happening to this day. And those names that I just mentioned are the ones that ended up on our Instagram and our timeline and our headline news. But there's so many unsolved crimes and murders that are happening every single day. And in '92, there was no such thing as camera phones. There was no such thing as body cams.
Social media,
there was
yeah.
no social media. There was no cameras on every corner. I was born at Martin Luther King Hospital, and so now it's 1992, and I am reliving something that I've been hearing about and feeling and growing up with the constant dialogue. Watts riots, Watts riots. And now I'm experiencing it in 1992 as I'm living there.
And you see those images play out in your new film, 1992, but it also talks about the relationships between a father and a son.
Yes.
Mercer
Yes.
had just gotten out of prison, trying to build his relationship with his son. Tell us about this film and that aspect.
Yeah, well, see, that's one of the reasons I said yes to the movie. You know, I don't say this to be facetious, but at this point, I've gotten an opportunity to do a lot of different type of films, and I'm not interested in films with things just blowing up, cars blowing up. You know, give me some heart. Give me some. What can I sink my teeth in? Why should anybody go see this movie and leave and say, you know, that made me think about something that I wasn't thinking about before I watched the movie? So the father-son, black father-son component, and as well as Ray Liotta playing a father to Scott Eastwood and his son.
Who's no longer with us anymore.
Yeah, rest in peace to Ray Liotta. It's layers and layers and layers and layers. So you got this duality between fathers, and yet, as much as you want to think that this movie is about riot and looting and Rodney King,
it's not.
It's a heist movie. They're breaking into a dang on warehouse to steal 40 platinum bars because they knew that the LAPD, the fire department, and every law enforcement imagined was completely distracted by all the looting and rioting and everything that was going on because of the verdict, and they wanted to take advantage of it. This film was not acting. It was reacting. It was reactivating what I already know because I live it and lived it every day. So this film for me is, you may not have ever had a black friend. You may not have ever had any type of cultural experience. I want to do a film that's going to have you to go to the theater and say, some way, somehow, as of today, I feel a way about the things that they are experiencing. And that I've done my job.
You know what scares me? I don't want you to grow up to be like me. It's wild out there to be more safe here. You're at the wrong place at the wrong time.
What was it like working with Snoop and having him come on board?
You know, I made that phone call and I said basically like, look, man, 1992 is now became something else. And I couldn't really imagine releasing a movie about something that's so specific to the West Coast and not have you to come on board and stamp it and be a part of it. And so, yeah, now we got a 1992 soundtrack coming out, a bunch of features with Snoop.
And speaking of a soundtrack, let's talk about this new album that's dropping on the day of the movie.
Beautiful Pain. The most important album I've ever done in my life. 20 songs. It's on vinyl. Produced by one soon-to-be legend and a real legend, and David Foster. And it's about my divorce, and it's about me discovering love again, discovering the beauty in my pain.
You know, we're big on current events.
Yes,
we
sir.
just sang the Star Spangled Banner at the Rams game.
Yes, sir.
You got some slack, caught some heat on social media.
Yes, sir.
But it was in what, memory to, you know, Marvin Gaye, 1983.
Well, here's the thing. I had literally just left the set of, it was a short film that we did for Wildflower for my mother. So I went to set in full costume, and I showed up in bell bottoms, full facial hairs, full costume, because it would have taken them 4 hours to take the hair, and I had full hair. You know, sorry if I shocked some of y'all with my look, but when you see this short film that we did called Wildflower, dedicated to my mother, may her soul rest in peace, I'm just grateful. It's all gonna make sense.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it, man. Good to see you again, brother, as always.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it very much.
It makes sense already. Our thanks to DeMarco Morgan for that. 1992, of course, will be in theaters on Friday, the same day as the new album, Beautiful Pain. What a soulful interview.